So as you can see, our lines are marked, so I'm going to quickly explain to you how I got those lines. But then the first thing I would like you to know is that this fabric is folded into two. So before you cut, make sure you fold the fabric into two. So this is the shoulder line. From this line to this line here is the full length of this shirt. So the full length of this shirt is 28, so I added 1.5 inch seam allowance to that, which gave me 29.5. So from this line to this line is the half length of the shirt. The half length is 17 inches and I measured 17.5. So that half inch I added to the 17 inches is because I'm going to be sewing the shoulder on a half inch seam allowance, and once I join the shoulder it is going to shorten the half length, so I had to add it to the 17 to make it 17.5. So from this line to this line is the bust line, which is 11 inches. I also added half inch to that, which gave us 11.5. And then finally this is the upper chest line. The upper chest line is derived by dividing the bust measurement by 6 and then adding 1.5 inch to that. So for the hip, the waist, the bust measurement, I'm going to add 3 inches to the actual measurement. So if the bust is 43, I'm going to add 3 inches to that. I want it to be a little bit free on the body. So the bust is 43.5, so I'm going to add 3 inches to that, which is going to give us 46.5. I'm also going to divide it by 4. I'm going to divide it by 4 because this is in fold. Alright, so what we have here is 11.6 inches. So from the upper chest line, I'm going to take that measurement down to the actual bust line. So the waist measurement is 43. 43 plus 3 is going to give us 46. So I'm going to divide that by 4. So I'm going to mark my answer right here. I didn't actually put an extra allowance for the darts because I already added 3 inches to this. So that 3 inches is going to take care of the dart and everything. So the hip is 51. 51 plus 3 is 54, so I'm going to divide that by 4. So I'm going to mark at 13.5. What I'm going to do here is to connect from the waist to the hip with a curve. So the shoulder measurement is 16 inches, so I'm going to fold the tape into 2, which is going to give us 8. That means I'm dividing 16 inches by 2. Remember to add your seam allowance to the shoulder measurement. So I'm going to take my shoulder measurement down to the upper chest line. Then I would connect. So for the neck, I'm going to use the standard measurement, which is 3.5 inches. There are different ways to go about this. This is just one way to do this. I'm going to slant the shoulder by 1 inch because our shoulder is definitely not straight. So I'm going to get the midpoint of the distance between here and here, which is 4. Then from this angle, I'm going to come up by 1 inch. So I'm going to connect with this curve inside my pattern master. So this has formed our back armhole. So for the front armhole, I'll come in here by 3/4. So for the front neck, I'm going to come down here by 3.5. Come up from this angle by 1.5 inch. So I'm going to connect from this angle to this other angle. You can either use a freehand skirt or you can use a curve to do that. So for the back neck, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. So this is our back neck, and then this is our front neck. So I'm going to put 1 inch seam allowance by the sides. Then I will use my ruler and connect just the way I connected the actual body measurement. Then I'll cut. So coming over here, I'm going to cut the back neckline first. Then I'll cut the shoulder slant. Then I'll cut the back armhole. I'm still going to cut the front armhole and the front neck, but that will be later on. So I want this to have a C curve around here. So it depends on how high you want your curve to go. So for this, 5 inches is okay. I'm going to mark 5 inches here. Then I'm going to go ahead and draw my curve. So I'm going to use these back bodies to cut the front bodies. So as you can see, I gave 1 inch allowance before I placed my back bodies. This 1 inch allowance is going to be for the front button, alright? So I'm going to go ahead and cut. The only thing I'm going to do differently to the front is that this armhole, this inner armhole that I marked before, has been transferred to the front. So I'm going to go ahead and cut. And then coming over to the neck, I transferred the front neck to the front bodies, alright? So I'm going to go ahead and cut too. So I'm going to slit here open. So it's time for us to cut the sleeve. The length of this sleeve is going to be 11 inches. So I'm going to measure 12 inches. To get the cap's height, I'm going to divide the bust measurement, which is 43.5. I will divide that by 12. So what I have is 3.6. So I'm going to add 0.5 to that, which is going to give us 4.1. See, I have an entire video dedicated to sleeve cutting, alright? I'm going to leave that in the description box below. I have different ways of cutting my sleeves, but this one is just one of the ways. So I'm going to go ahead and measure 4.6. The sleeve round is 16, so 16 divided by 2 is going to give us 8. I'm going to add 1 inch ease to that. This is not the allowance, this is the ease. So I'll draw my line. I'm going to get the midpoint, and the midpoint is 5. So I'm going to mark it right here. So then I'm going to come up here by ½ inch. And then I'll connect like so. So the elbow round is 14 divided by 2 is going to give us 7. So I marked it right here, and I'll connect with my ruler. So now that I have this, I'll go ahead and give my 1-inch allowance for seam. So I'm going to go ahead and cut. So after that, I'm going. So I placed this on another folded fabric to get the second sleeve. So to get the front sleeve armhole from this point, I'm going to curve this way. Then from this point also, I'm going to curve this way. Now to cut that out, let me give this a notch right here. So I open this up this way, then I'll place the two right sides together, and then I'll cut. So guys, this is what we have. I have an entire video dedicated to cutting a shirt collar. I'm going to leave that in the description box, and then the next video is going to be how to sew the shirt. It's going to be very detailed. So alright guys, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to this channel if you've not done that already. Until next time guys, my name is Ruby. I'll catch you in my next video. Bye.